Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you very much for lending me your time and your ear and listening in to another idea that will work on the Wii U. And yeah, this one is another board game, and this is one I actually thought about a while ago, but I had been thinking like, how could this work where it would be fun, but it would also use the features of the console in the right way? And I finally come to what I think is close enough to a good usage of the Wii U for this board game, and that is Clue. Now, granted, if people were putting this out, it would have to come in a board game box because of how I'm setting this up. I mean, it wouldn't have to be like a super huge box, but you'd have to have like, say, a box that's the size of Wii Party U. That's the type of size box would have to come in. Um, and it would have to have its own custom amiibos to be able to use with it. Like, they'd have to be smaller than this. Like, they'd use this type of base right here, but they'd have to be small. They'd have to be about to where Link's hip is. They'd have to be about that small. That's how big they would have to be on this. And it would have to come with like somewhere between 6 and 8 of them. I think include there are 6 characters, but they could add a couple more. Like, that's not going to kill anything. So somewhere between 6 and 8, because they're the pieces for the board, so that's why they would have to be custom amiibos for this, like specifically for this, and it would probably make this expensive, but at the same time, with what it is, it kind of the point kind of sits with it. But here's my thinking, and well, you guys can let me know if you agree with this or not. But you take the Wii U gamepad, using the camera. Like, at the start of the game, to set up the game for the board, the camera would be used to take a picture of each individual player, and then they would register it to their game piece, like their amiibo game piece for this. Because obviously, there's something that this will build up to, but it'll take an individual picture of each person playing, and like I said, which would they would register that character, register their picture to that amiibo piece for them to play. And each person, the gamepad will basically be getting passed around to each person whose turn it is. The game board itself would constantly be displayed on the television screen, and on the gamepad screen would basically lay out your options, like where you can move, if you can search certain rooms and things like that. Being able to use hidden passageways, all that type of stuff, which is included in the board game Clue if you pay attention to the rules. Will set you up, let you know if you stumbled across something special, like all that type of stuff would be on the gamepad screen. Like any clues, like basically this would be where your character is keeping their notes and any valued items that they might have. All of this stuff would be listed on the gamepad screen and would be registered to the amiibo that you're using. So you play the game, you'd be taking your rounds and your turns, and if some new clue pops up, it would be highlighted, obviously. Clues that you've already had would be in white, and then highlighted in red would be new clues that pop up to distinguish who the killer is in the game. Stuff keeps popping up on my screen. It's annoying me. So as the game further moves along, also on the television screen would be everyone's picture with their, which it would show registered to their characters along the sides, so that the board is like in the middle. So let's just say the board itself, if we made this screen just 720p. I'm trying to figure. So it would be like 640 by 720 would be the board in the middle, and then the rest of the sides of the screen would be used to fill in with the pictures and the colored piece that each person is registered to. I meant to say that before, and it kind of slipped my mind. You use the game, like I said, you use the gamepad to move. to search certain rooms, and it will show you clues and stuff. All this information, though, would not be shown to everyone else. This information would only be shown to you. And you would touch your game piece, your amiibo piece, to the gamepad to start your turn and to end your turn. And once you end your turn, the screen will go black and say pass to the. It'll say pass to blank player, whatever color their piece is. That's what it would tell you to pass to. That's who it would tell you to pass to. So that would be the next person in the line, basically. Which actually would be nice for keeping rotation and stuff going. So I would want that to be done. And that way it keeps people from seeing what you see and people from being able to guess based on what you have for information. So again, pass the gamepad around. Just like the gamepad is your way to interact with the rest of the game. And the amiibo pieces are your avatars, basically, to represent the board pieces on the game pieces on the board. And you'll see where everybody's positioned on the board. So that would be cool to have anyway. As the game goes further along, it'll eliminate like what the murder weapon was, who could possibly be the killer. All that information would be displayed on your screen. So along with your notes, all of your rival players would be on the screen, and then you'd be able to eliminate, well, yourself and your rival players. You'd be able to eliminate who is and is not the killer. Or who isn't the killer to find out who is the killer, I should say. And once the game started to wrap up, after it is determined who the actual killer is, that would be displayed on the screen with your picture, the picture that you took at the beginning of play, along with your character piece, and then it would show like just the color, like just a little video of the colored avatar of the character being walked away by like some cheap looking police dolls or something like that, just for the fun of it, just because that would kind of work itself out, and I think that would make this game work for the Wii U, and it would make it kind of fun. And on top of that, it works around the rules of the game. Now, Clue, the more recent version of Clue, I think has 2 game boards. Like, I remember having 2 game boards. It has the one inside the mansion, and then there's, if you flip it, there's one on a boardwalk. And the rules vary between the 2 different boards. So I would keep with that, but I'd also add like extra, like 2 or 3 other boards to the game that just have different rule sets for those particular boards, with how you get to certain items and how you move and things, because that's all it really changes. And I think that could actually be kind of interesting. This is something I don't know if it will really, I mean, it could be done online, but then at the same time I'm like, with this, I don't know if online would actually make sense for this, because this is more like an at-home party type thing. So where you're basically playing the detective. And I mean, you could do it online, you could do it online. Everybody would just have their own board piece and everything, but then it would, like, how someone is determined and what color they are is where it would be kind of iffy. And that's why I'm kind of thinking about whether or not that would work with online play or not. But I think if it did, you'd have to only have one person per console playing, just to keep it more organized. But that's really it. I mean, I could see that working out to be something fun for the Wii U, and I know this is weird. I said I'm kind of feeling like this would be better as an offline game, but it kind of makes more sense that way to me. Battleship works in a way it could be an online game, whereas Clue kind of works to the opposite direction. But that's it. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears up for more of my stuff. And until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out.